It's been a whirlwind in the 50th, a district with 750,000 constituents that covers much of North and East San Diego County and has been one of California's most reliably red districts. For decades, the seat has been held by the Hunter dynasty. First by Duncan Hunter Sr., who served as a representative from 1981 to 2009, and then with his son Duncan Hunter Jr., who was elected in 2009 and served as the representative for the 50th until he resigned earlier this month after pleading guilty to a campaign finance crime. Hunter denied any wrongdoing for more than a year after being charged in 2018 with 60 federal criminal counts for using $250,000 of campaign money on personal expenses. But he did a 180 in early December and pleaded guilty on one count. Hunter told local news station KUSI he wanted to spare his family a trial.
I did make mistakes. I did not properly monitor or account for my campaign money. I justify that plea with the understanding that I am responsible for my campaign and what happens to my campaign money.
Hunter now faces 5 years in prison and a $250,000 fine when he's sentenced on March 17th. But where does that leave the 50th? Because of the timing of Hunter's resignation, California Governor Gavin Newsom decided not to call a special election. That means voters like Joseph Knob will have no representation in Congress until January of 2021, when the winner of this year's November election takes office.
Well, I think our community should be represented at all times by a congressman. So if we don't have a congressman for a year, that's not really fair for the people around here who vote.
But they will have a chance to vote in the March primary when 3 Republicans and 1 Democrat compete for the seat. One of the frontrunners is Democrat Amar Campa-Najjar, a former Obama administration official who ran against Hunter in 2018 and lost by fewer than 9,000 votes.
Nearly half the district voted for me to be a congressman in this district. We've been running for 3 years, and we've been talking to everybody, Republicans, Democrats, independents, people who aren't ignorant but ignored by the Democratic and Republican Party.
On the Republican side, former 9-term Congressman Darrell Issa, current state Senator Brian Jones, and former radio host and San Diego City Councilman Carl DeMaio are all contenders. Of the candidates, only Jones and Campa-Najjar live in the 50th district. Jones said the voters there should be familiar with his record.
I think I've built a pretty good reputation in Sacramento, working with my Democratic colleagues to get stuff done. I've fought and defended for the principles that are important to this district, all at the same time getting bills passed through Sacramento and signed by the governor. So I think that skill set will transfer well to Washington, D.C.
None of the 3 Republican candidates was able to gain the endorsement of the San Diego Republican Party, which requires a 2/3 majority of party committee members. Of the 3 running, DeMaio has been the most vocal opponent of Duncan Hunter.
I've shown time and time again, whether it's taking on the politicians with the pension reform initiative or fighting them on the gas tax, I'm willing to step forward and fight for the people when career politicians sit on the sidelines.
DeMaio and about a dozen of his supporters showed up to protest Darrell Issa when he announced his candidacy in late September. Issa was the only candidate who turned down our repeated requests for an on-camera interview, but he did speak to the press when he threw his hat in the ring.
I believe that I have the history, the skills, the seniority, and the capability to hit the ground running, not just for this district, but for California.
The primary is March 3rd. The top 2 candidates will go on to the general election in November. Priya Sridhar, KPBS News.